Hello there, and you are there, and I am here again for an unrelated matter. I had hoped to be doing a little video on Sandra Lean's latest podcast that she'd done, series of conversations with True Crime Exposed, but just after I made the last video, as always, has popped off, done some, uploading, all the rest of it, and then came across something which I found quite interesting, which linked into what I was talking about. It would have been brilliant to show an example of, but to be fair, that last video then would have been about like an hour and 15 minutes long or something. So let's just, I don't want to miss it, so it makes it a little bit easier because it's not my work. The blog, which I've highlighted a couple of times, available on Facebook and on X, formerly known as Twitter. Innocence Fraud Watch done a update in terms of Ms. Lean's, what we call, the grift, so to speak, and I'll use the term corny. Well, actually, for those that aren't aware, corny is kind of, so the old kind of travelling carnival idea of the fairground, prize winning, get a teddy or whatever. The idea, obviously, that the carny looks out for what they call a mark, who's going to fall for it and essentially spend money with no chance of winning. It's just basically a grift in that sense. So that's what I mean in that, using that term. But this speaks to that, in my opinion. Also, it's a good idea. I mean, how can I put it? The idea that they set you up to fail in that sense, and that actually that's quite a good lead in the sense that this is the Groundhog Day, the Michael Finnegan, when came out and blew his hairs in and he had to start growing his beard again. I don't know if you're familiar with the song. Anyway, the Groundhog Day repetition, in terms of trying to, for want of a better description, get the grift off the ground and launch it. So I want to look at the blog that was done by Innocence Fraud Watch. As I say, you guys can get them on Facebook and on X as well. So do look out, because there's a lot of other stuff there, and there's a lot of things about other cases, ones we might have dropped in and name dropped in here, and a lot of other stuff, so might interest you there. Keep a little eye out for that. Go and have a little look. Go on.
I go on. Go on. Go on.
So, to jump into this, also, I'll use screenshots here rather than the live screen kind of feed through, because it's a little easier to track and a little bit easier to read through it all. So, starting from the start. Again, this is available on Twitter and X, formerly known as Twitter. It's like the artist formerly known as Prince, the social network site formerly known as Twitter, X. So, looking at this here, May 2007, Sandra Lean published her first discredited book, No Smoke, The Shocking Truth About British Justice, with Diggity Press. I always keep on thinking that says Diggity, but that should probably just show my age. 9th of May 2007, Sandra Lean speaks publicly for the first time about her support for sadistic killer Luke Mitchell. I can't imagine what Jodie's family have been through, and for them to have to face the possibility that it wasn't Luke who did this. How betrayed will they feel? How devastating for them. But my girls used the path to walk Newbattle High School, not the path where Jodie died, but one not unlike it. I wanted to know that they were safe, she explains. The more I looked into it, the more the pieces didn't fit. So just Sandra Lean kind of in here. We're just going through, as I say, her reasons here. So I wrote this because I was so bloody angry, she explains. We were all trotting along thinking things were one way when they were not. I wanted to raise awareness and get change. I want people to get as mad as a box of frogs too. I think we achieved that with some, to be fair. To say they don't want innocent people locked up, and I I want to be sure that we are safe. Heads up before I go any further on this, guys. I have read through this once off, but I wanted to kind of make it a bit more reactionary as well. So some of the finer details I might kind of like rediscover as we go through this. Ignore my comments if you want to, but there is quite a hammer down on this idea that, you know, she's protecting your safety, which paints her in a very good light in that sense. Everybody's their own representative, I suppose. Don't give us this. Back on it. Don't give us this bull that we have locked up someone that, and that's it. I want to know that the person they have is the right person. So when I go to the shop for a bottle of wine or a loaf of bread, he isn't going to jump out at me. Everyone says you are safe. He's off the streets, but in so many cases I've looked at, the person that did it is still free, and it could be anyone. Let's take a wee stop there. The many cases if those involve the ones that have already admitted guilt that were in your first book, then that's null and void. But at the same time, many cases, regardless. But many cases I've looked at, the person is still free, and it could be anyone. It could be the person across the street or over the fence. It might be you or your friends, kids who are in the wrong place at the wrong time. Statements from Sandra Lean in a Scotsman article headed claiming Killin innocent, part of Search for Truth. So they got the date there as well, 2000. So yeah, the reason given behind, seeking the truth, so to speak, there's a lot of powerful language in there for me, but it's very bland, wishy-washy, in the sense that there's no real the thing is as well, what I would say is how true is the idea that we're looking into things for the safety of others when you've been asked to get involved. Suppose that might be the initial it doesn't really match up with what the timeline seems to be in terms of the involvement of Sandra Lean with Killin Mitchell, but regardless. Moving on the 16th of February 2008, Sandra Lean announces on Writers.net forum she is taking Diggory Press to court. Ladies and gentlemen, to court. Insane. Let's have a look why. Hi, I'm another of the 17. Sounds like a good film. And I can confirm Jill's post. We're indeed taking Diggory to court. And, like Jill, I also got suckered into the platinum package. Oh, the platinum package. Doesn't that sound like a holiday, like a, what do you call it, a timeshare? A platinum package. Anyway, unfortunately, being very naive. Not the best look. Unfortunately, being very naive, I organised and booked... sorry, give me a second. Let's start that one again. Unfortunately, being very naive, I organised and booked a countrywide, that'd be even more quaint, countrywide book tour at great expense, expecting my book to be in the shops. Worse, I was highlighting several cases of wrongful conviction, so all these people and their families were extremely hopeful that the publicity would generate interest and public support for them. I've rarely felt so low about anything. These people trusted me with their stories, and I feel I let them down terribly, all because Diggory doesn't do what it says it will do. So just kind of looking at that paragraph there, the platinum package seems to be some promise of as a distribution by the looks of it. Is that what the platinum package was? It sounds like a con straight off, just with a name. Perhaps just me. Never the VIP treatment, all that kind of stuff. Priority. It's never what it seems to be. But carrying on then to the second paragraph, I have not received 1 penny in royalties, and I've had nothing but rudeness from Diggory when I tried to put things right. I think that may be even. They even sent a very rude email to a friend of mine who had emailed on my behalf, because I thought my own emails weren't getting through. I know my book has sold many copies because of the feedback I have had personally, and because of the ratings and comments on Amazon, I'll pop in from time to time to leave updates on the situation. I hate to sound childish, but I mean it's not like people don't loan books, so it doesn't mean you're sold loads because you've got 3 good emails, but one person, 2 mates. That sounds like a terrible movie. If you get the reference. So moving on from there, the 12th of August 2008, Sandra Lean republished her first discredited book, No Smoke. The Shocking Truth About British Justice with Stephen T. Manning. In that book, Sandra does talk about the Luke Mitchell case, the Simon Hall, Adrian Proud, things we've mentioned on the channel before. Cases where the people have admitted guilt after the fact. However, it seems that, it doesn't matter how many you get wrong, somehow you're right about this, but again, that's sidetracked. So 13th of December 2010, Sandra Lean, an unconvicted baby killer, Billy Middleton, obtained charity status for the wrongly accused person organisation. So a couple of things about that one. One, the wrongly accused person organisation is a terribly worded name. That is, and is it not? It went down as WAP as well. Should be WAP, WAPO, as opposed to WAP. Also, WAP is something else. Anyway, the first part, however, a bit more serious in that sense. The Billy Middleton there, the unconvicted baby killer. That's something that you can look into. Obviously, there's a lot in terms of Ms. Lean's relationship with Billy Middleton. If you look at forums and whatnot, maybe something you can look at in the future. But at the moment, as I say, have a little look at it. It's all there for you, and you should be doing that so you can confirm, like we spoke about in the last video, about legitimacy. So in that sense, legitimate sense, we went over it. Moving on from there, the 20th of July 2012, we're all the way up in 2012, folks. Sandra Lean and Corinne Mitchell delivered a 300-page dossier to the Scottish Criminal Case Review Commission, and you can see there's a source there as well for that. I would like to ask how that went. I'm sure people can answer it in the comments as well and enlighten people. We won't go over every single point that we're going to go here because it's a lot of reading. So, February 2013, Sandra Lean said she had been duped by sadistic killer Luke Mitchell and Corinne Mitchell, Innocence Fraud. So that is something that it's been in my comments as well. People have said that this has been the case. I don't believe it was a public admission, but at the end of the day, if that is the case, that is interesting. 10 years after the fact, can he turn around and say that? But if that's the case, that's the case. It's as I say, interesting. Should we say that somebody that was a such a quick change of mind and a quick change back? But is it? I would say grift, but so in 5th of April 2013, Sandra Lean resigned from the Wrongly Accused Person Organisation Charity, or WAPOC for short. WAP. Anyway, just a quick one with the email here, Sandra Lean to Billy Middleton. Dear Billy, please accept this email as notification of my resignation as a director of the Wrongly Accused Person Charity. I have been unwell for some time now, and the stress of worrying about redacted is something I cannot cope with at the moment, so I feel it best if I simply resign and concentrate on regaining my health. Kind regards, Sandra. So the reason given there, obviously health, which you can understand if that's the case. On the 25th of July 2013, the Office of the Scottish Charity Regulator indicated the Wrongly Accused Person Charity failed to make financial return.
That's not good enough!
26th of October 2018, Sandra Lean announced that she had a self-published published her second Innocence Fraud book via Amazon, and profits from her book are being donated to a new organisation, Long Road to Justice.
Won't you come in, Miss Liar?
So here we go, a post here from, Sandra herself. So today, my book about the case Innocence Betrayed was launched. Well, always launching. Launching the grift. Profits from the book are being donated to help fund a new organisation, Long Road to Justice. This feels like a country song. Which will be taking a radically new approach to helping the fight against injustice. Details of the book can be found here. Does anybody else think that everything has to be radical, it's new, it's innovative, it's a different way of doing it? That's what's going to change things, rather than just good old-fashioned proving your point. At the end of the day, I don't see what can be radical about this. There's nothing. Like most cons, scams, whatever you want to call it, it's always great language to get you in there. It's all, fresh, innovative, it's radical, it's, it's game changing, and reality it's just a graft. But again, maybe just me. So on the 26th of October 2018, Sandra Lean states on page 378 of her book that her profits are being donated to the new organisation Long Road to Justice. Profits from the book are being donated to the new organisation Long Road to Justice, again, which aims, in conjunction with other organisations, name them, to assist and highlight cases of claimed wrongful conviction, and to educate the wider public about justice in the UK. Well, again, sorry that I cut in there, but could we name some other, if it's, you would think that would be worked out, you can, in conjunction with so and so, whatever the case may be. On the 31st of March 2019, Sandra Lean stated on the James English video, "The reason I put the book out is if I were forced to give up, so if anything happened to me, let's start with that one again. The reason I put the book out is if I was forced to give up, so if anything happened to me, I don't think there's anybody else in Scotland got the level of knowledge of the case that I've got, and the idea was put everything in there, and then if anybody else wants to come along and take over the information there." Like I said, some of this is more reactionary, reading through it a second time, but wow, what a pile of crap that is. I don't think there's anybody else in Scotland got the level of knowledge that the case. Oh man, right. It's very Trumpian, isn't it? Again, it's very Trumpian. There's anybody's in the case in Scotland has got the level of knowledge. No one knows it like they do. No one knows it. No. If anything happened to me, obviously that's a bit morose in the respect that you could walk out and get hit by a car, but if I was forced to give up, alright. It's all a bit extreme, Stay safe. On 29th of June 2019, Sandra Lean claimed on Twitter she was having technical difficulties with the launch of a Long Road to Justice. Imagine launching a long road, that'd be hard. Due to technical difficulties, the launch of Long Road to Justice is being postponed to Monday the 8th of July. Exciting times, guys. 8th of July. So on the 4th of October 2019, Sandra Lean claimed she had contacted Stephen T. Manning, Checkpoint Press, to withdraw her first discredited book, No Smoke, from publication. Reasons for that? Who would guess? I would say, and this is a guess, this is a heavy detour into speculation station here, but maybe because there have been discredited cases in the book, that would maybe taint the image for the new book. Again, speculation station. Going on to the next part, 16th of October 2019, Sandra Lean launched a 10k GoFundMe appeal stating, "Your money will provide the time needed to create a solid foundation for a complete I'm just going to do what my brain wants to do and read this in the very sarcastic way that it wants to. Your money will provide the time needed to create a solid foundation for a complete review of the case and the possibility of finally obtaining true justice for Luke and for Jodie. We need to move quickly. For the first time since 2003, there is a large amount of positive interest in the case. Most people don't realise that Luke's sentence is without limit, unless the conviction is overturned. There is no release date for him, and without a proper foundation, creating the conditions to review the case is almost an impossible task. Your support will mean that I could dedicate much more time to systematically creating a permanent, searchable record of all the details of the case, which, in turn, will mean that we can quickly and accurately provide information for experts who can help review the case. It has been frustrating to have to do this work in small bursts between other commitments. To be able to concentrate fully for extended periods of time means we will finally, once and for all, have a permanent record that can be accessed in an instant. With your help, we have the best possible chance of discovering the truth about what really happened to Jodie and who was really responsible. Sandra Lean. I'm sorry I couldn't get through that in a serious voice. That is absolute horseshit. Wow. That's just that. Essentially, I mean, she wants paid for her job of doing this, which is fine at the end of the day, but don't hide behind language here. This is it's just it's just a grift as far as. So moving on, and we'll cover it all at the end because I just get sidetracked and rant. 19th of October 2019, Sandra Lean's GoFundMe asking for 10k deleted for violating terms of service. I never ever done a video on that, but that was big news. Going back and looking at the reports at the time, there's a lot of people obviously that reported on that violating the terms of service itself within GoFundMe for legal funding. It's against the terms of service, I believe. Anyway, 24th of February 2021, Sandra Lean appeared on Channel 5's Innocence Fraud TV show Murder in a Small Town, which gets a lot of following and a lot of quoting. But again, we're looking at that. I mean, I did say in the first video we done as well that the two cops that are actually in that video were sacked for fraud, which that's never a good starting base, is it? Hi, these guys are going to help us out. Where did you get them from? They used to be policemen. Did they retire? Well, kinda. Why? They were asked to leave. Why? Fraud. That's not very good. Well, at least they were just bobbies on the beat. Part of a terrorism unit. Sorry, what? Exactly. So, yeah. Moving on from that.
The healthiest thing we can do is just ignore this and pretend it doesn't exist. Just like we do with the squid.
So, into the kind of final push, I think. There's quite a lot to go through here. The 25th of February 2021, Sandra Lean launched her gimmick of a petition. Some people might look at that and think gimmick's quite a harsh word, but I think it's perfect. Because that's what the petition was. It was a gimmick. In the same sense that, it's like a... What's the word for it? I'm trying to think of a good word for it. But actually, it's a MacGuffin. A MacGuffin. So you know, in a film, the MacGuffin is the piece of thing that the good guys need to put into whatever to beat the bad guys that stops the sky beam or whatever the hell's going on. So essentially, that's what it is. It was a MacGuffin. It's no value in the sense that it's just something to chase. There's no guarantee that obviously they can get it, or that it's not a red herring. It's just something that they have to go for. So it's a gimmick. The petition, although you can make all the petitions in the world, regardless what that says. So sorry. The writer has went with what I do with my ums and ahs here. So erm. It will be a part of a bundle of moves and events and things that we're trying to do to bring pressure. So the petition on its own won't be enough. That just seems like a get out of jail free card, that one. We've always known it won't be enough, but it will help, for example, to get this talked about in the Scottish Parliament. Things like that. Statements for Sandra Lean via a live video on 14th April 2021. So they never expected anything from it then. Really, it was to gather more following, more eyes, more marks for the Carney's grift. Moving on. So, on the 9th of March 2021, Sandra Lean published part of her GoFundMe email to one of her Facebook accounts. In response to my final email to GoFundMe, this is the reason they gave. Unfortunately, this would be a violation of the following line from our terms. Campaigns deemed by GoFundMe in its sole discretion to be in support of or for the legal defence of alleged crimes associated with hate, violence, harassment, bullying, discrimination, terrorism, or intolerance of any kind relating to race, ethnicity, national origin, religious affiliation, sexual orientation, sex, gender identity, gender expression, serious disabilities or disease, financial crimes or crimes of deception. You can review our terms here. I can just see your comments right now about some of the headings there. Anyway, so that was the reason given for the GoFundMe being closed. On the 9th of March 2021, however, Sandra Lean announced on Facebook that she couldn't set up a bank account for direct donations due to all sorts of tax implications. Charities, no. Let's read the email. Let's read the post. I'm sorry. Thanks for everyone's comments. I can just set up a bank account for direct donations. Just set up a bank account for direct donations. There are all sorts of tax implications, but I'm working on an idea that should work. Unfortunately, it's going to take time. But these things just take time, guys. Unfortunately, it's going to take time that I really don't have at the minute. I have people helping, but as I only just found out myself, I'm struggling to think straight. I'll update you as soon as I can. So more problems in getting things launched. I'm not entirely sure in terms of tax laws, in all honesty. That's something that I would need to look into, but it seems a bit of a strange kind of reason for this getting shut down or shot down even. But moving on, getting towards the end as well. This one's a bit of a long read though. So 14th of March 2021, Sandra Lean announced via her live video that she was setting up a new company. And yet another Scottish charity. The company name to be Innocence Betrayed Limited and the charity to be called Long Road to Justice. So looking at this here, to the people who have given me business, bear with me 2 seconds. To the people who have given me business advice and tech advice behind the scenes to help with the funding and things like that, A huge thank you to all of you. You're absolutely amazing. Now, a couple of people have been in touch. A couple of people who have business backgrounds and accounting backgrounds and tech backgrounds have been in touch. And the suggestion has been, in order to set up a charitable or not-for-profit organisation, it needs time. Remember, this is 14th of March 2021. We're saying this, and what are we now? We're in 2023 in October. It just takes time, guys. It takes time. And in order to get this moving as quickly as possible, hold on to your seats. One of the suggestions has been that I set up a company, Innocence Betrayed, and the t-shirts and the hoodies and the car stickers and the face masks and the books and all of that. Yes. Somebody said something about that. Somebody a lot cooler than me.
And before you even knew what you had, you packaged it and slapped it on a plastic lunchbox, and now you're selling it. You want to sell it. Well,
moving on from that, however, so to carry on, can I go through Innocence Betrayed while this other organisation, this charity organisation is being set up, and then all the profits from Innocence Betrayed will go into this organisation. So I'd like to talk a little about that. A few people have commented and sent me links to Inside Justice, which is a charity in England that looks at these cases, re-examines them, and has a lot of experts involved, and sees if these cases can be taken back to Court of Appeal. And I tried to set up an organisation like that for Scotland about 3 years ago, I think, thereabouts, called Long Road to Justice, which we've obviously went through in the timeline now. And the idea for Long Road was to bring together not only experts that can re-examine cases, but writers and filmmakers who can get their stories out. Which, just to take a second here and put a pin in that, that's important obviously, because like I say, it's a PR exercise, a lot of these things. So you want filmmakers and you want writers, and writers? I mean, do you need a writer if you're telling the story of it? Why would you need a writer? That's somebody that's going to be painting a... Oh well, kind of showing your hand there to be fair, but that's just me. But these people, that's what I mean about the corruption in terms of everyone's got a little link. You'll find a lot of the guys that do documentaries such as Murder in a Small Town, they might have done another documentary about someone else who was found guilty. Maybe that's something we're looking at. Maybe that's a thing. Is that a thing? You know it's a thing. It's a thing. Carrying on with this, however. Just like we did with Murder in a Small Town, and I could never have got that off the ground for a number of reasons. Mainly funding. Kept getting fundraisers, kept getting taken down suggestions that I was somehow trying to profiteer out of it. Why would they ever have that idea? Yes, because it was for 18 years I've done it all at my own expense.
Liar!
And so the idea now is that a completely called Innocence Betrayed, that company called Innocence Betrayed can be set up very quickly, and I have someone working on that right now, very quickly in 2021, remember. Still going with this. So after probably tomorrow now, I'll put out 2 new email addresses that I was going to put out during the week and never had time for, to cover ideas and help. So people with ideas and people that can help. Oh, that's a sentence. Once Innocence Betrayed is up and running, the company, not the book, is up and running, we start getting all these ideas into action, and the accounts for Innocence Betrayed will be looked at, will be kept by someone else. So that they're completely transparent. Oh, transparent. Oh, I love when people talk about finances being transparent. Honestly, that is it. By numbers. Anyway, a bingo card. I'll pay the tax on all the donations to Long Road that come through Innocence Betrayed, but it'll take several weeks to get Long Road to Justice set up, which is the charitable organisation which we hope to be able to look at in other cases, looks as well, but other cases in Scotland, and try to help folks to help. I'm absolutely lost right now. To help take them forward on, or to get their stories out there for other people to help. Again, these things take time, and neither of them are ready to go just yet, but I will let everyone know when they are ready to go. Apologies for that. I maybe should have read through that, because some of that was a bit effluvia again. But yeah, so that they are completely transparent. That just like massive silence, as far as I'm concerned.
Hey, wait, you swore!
Trust me.
So into the final stretch, 23rd of March 2021, Sandra sets up Innocence Betrayed Limited company, the company number there. On the 14th of June 2022, Sandra Lean's Innocence Betrayed Limited struck off. So what we're looking at there, just over a year. Struck off. 15th of November 2022, Sandra Lean handed in her gimmick, I love that word, her gimmick of a petition to Scottish Parliament, which she stated on 14th of April 2021, on its own won't be enough. Which, yeah, it's just not. It's really not. But, yeah, so I love that word gimmick, I really do. So on the 17th of June 2023, Sandra Lean set up a Buy Me a Coffee account. I don't know if anybody remembers this because it was quite recent as well. I've cracked a couple of jokes. However, good morning. As we all know, there is no way of fundraising to help with Luke's case because of all major fundraisers refuse fundraisers for convicted persons, and anything with Luke's name on it is taken down. However, if anyone would like to support me with my work, I've set up a Buy My Coffee page here. Support Sandra with her work, which is, for the long and short of all we know about it right now, is to help Luke. So you would be funding Luke's case by... why did they think that wording it, especially... You kind of give the game away yourself there. You know, we don't... The front door's locked, but we do have a back door. Like, what the Anyway. 26th of June 2023. Buy Me a Coffee disabled Sandra Lean's account for violating their terms and conditions. Shocked face. So Sandra said, just a quick message. Buy Me a Coffee has disabled my page for apparently violating their terms. But they didn't say what terms or how they've been violated. I'm furious that people are getting a message saying the page has been removed for inappropriate use of service. That's probably why it's been that's probably the violation. But anyway, BMAC also Buy Me a Coffee, haven't even spoken to me before making this public accusation as fact. Sorry. I have 30 days to appeal, even though I don't know what I'm supposed to have done, after which the page will be permanently deleted and donations returned to the people who made them. I keep everyone posted with developments. So the accusation without fact was just, it was enough. I'm sorry. It broke me. Obviously Sandra's furious there. But like I say, the inappropriate use of service will probably be the reasons that they think the terms have been violated. So you kind of answered your own complaint there by carrying on talking. So on the 23rd of July 2023, Sandra Lean stated, out of nowhere without me doing anything, YouTube monetized my YouTube channel. Which, I'm just going to say right here and now, no, that's, no. Absolutely not possible. Not possible. You have to request to monetize your own YouTube channel. Trust me. I know if I don't get me wrong, I don't fall under any of the parameters that would actually mean I could do it even if I wanted to. But no, you have to make a request. That has to be. It doesn't just come out the blue. YouTube's just not like, oh, you want some money? No one does that. Hey, you want some cash? We're making cash, but we're thinking you might want to make some of it as well. Honestly, you'd expect people to believe that. No. So, what she said though was, I've not quite figured out how it all works. So I'll, another little list here. People can now donate during lives. We can have background auctions, competitions and things like that. Auctions and competitions? What is this? What do you, like a afternoon bingo? What the mental. Well, back to Jeff Goldblum. For those of you who want to, you'll be able to sign up as subscribers for as little as $2.99 a month. Bargain. And I can add a store where you can order t-shirts and books direct from me to save buying from Amazon, keyrings and air magnets, all manner of things to help raise awareness. I don't know if that was repeated or she's in it. Raise awareness. Sunday. There you go. There it is. You can buy stuff direct from me. T-shirts and books and keyrings. Cheese and rice, man. I've also added a PayPal link in the description because I couldn't figure out how to put it on the YouTube channel itself. So, YouTube's hard to work out. I'm not going to quibble on that one. So, it's in the description for those of you who don't want to sign up to the regular payments or who can't be here for live or anything like that. Or give me your money, or do you want a magnet, or sorry, I'm editorialising. So yeah, that came at quite a nice time. So again, go back to that. That's absolute bullshit. There is no way that YouTube just were like, here you go, Sandra. Here's a monetized YouTube channel. You have to, in the back end, you have to get to a certain amount of subscribers, which should be well past, and a certain amount of views within 12 months. And there has to be other kind of things as well, like, but not as important as those two themselves. And then after that, it has to be applied for. It's not just blanket put out. I mean, if you're gonna tell lies, at least make them ones that people aren't gonna know any better of. Now, there was the website as well that was put up here. I asked you guys to go in. It's a lot more reading as well, and we've been through a lot. This is quite long. Oh, what happened there? The video was just playing stuff. Aha, that was the stuff I used in the last video. There we go. See, I don't know what I'm doing on these things either. But yeah, as I say, this is long enough. It really is. This is interesting because to me, this is trying to relaunch the same kind of grift. Nothing radical as said in posts. Nothing game changing. Nothing that I would think would be any different from what's available at the moment. I could be, you know, at the end of the day, we've got the, you know, mojo and whatnot. So I think this is, in my opinion, you know, heavy speculation station at the end of the day. But like the writer of the blog here, I think kind of doesn't say, but definitely portrays this is a constant relaunch of a grift. You know, you know, lucky it's launching a grift. If this was launching anything else, then it would be disaster. If this was rockets, there'd be a lot of dead astronauts in space right now. Yeah, it's trying to, but the thing that really is kind of baffling is trying to go and do the same things, using these buy me a coffee or GoFundMe when, you know, these things are evident. And for someone who's supposed to look into something in the fine details, you'd think those things would be covered as well, especially when we have all these tech people and all these financial people and all these other charity people that are helping. The two don't align. If you've got all these experts, again, maybe it's the level of experts we're looking at here, let's be frankly honest, maybe that's the problem. But this is really interesting, because I do find that I am completely of the opinion that these Sandra Lean and Scott Forbes are carnies, in every sense of the word. I believe the grift, the idea, you know, that this money is going to charity. There's so many examples I could pick. We talked about Logan Paul in the last video, but there's so many examples we could pick of the same language that are used in startups and different charities and companies that turn out to be absolute cons. And it's quite strange to see the same techniques used in this line of work, if that makes sense. So, what do you guys think? And please guys, do go over and have a look at the blog itself. There's a lot of stuff on there, not only about this case, but about other cases as well. You might recognise some names popping up here and there, but it's well worth it. Whilst I'm giving shout outs, actually, I noticed that Roberta Glass done something on the Memphis 3. So that, yeah, I'd recommend that everybody goes and has a look at that. Again, go back to what I recommended on the last one, Convicting a Murderer, with the skin crawling Candace Owens, but don't like that woman. Yeah, so tell me what you think of this, guys. What do you think of the whole idea? Where is this money? At the end of the day, yes, the company was struck off within a year. Did it make any money within that? Ms. Lean, let's just say up front as well to everyone, Ms. Lean does deny there is any misdoings in any of the things that she has been involved in. Her involvement as well is questioned by herself in terms of her commitment. But then again, you have to look at the companies themselves and the company that she kept when she was in them, as to, you know, the overall thing. And I do think repetition here shows the pattern, shows the need. The idea now that everything is centralised in a monetized YouTube channel, a surprise monetized YouTube channel, where she can sell books and I've got to allow myself a swear, I think, fucking magnets and keyrings. Honestly, allow myself a swear there. I mean, thank you for sticking with me with that. I think it's quite interesting. I don't know about you guys. I would love to know more in terms of the actual the monetary side of things. Kobe Smulders. I'd like to know the kind of fine detail as to that, but I don't think that'll ever come out, and I don't think there'll be any admittance here as well, but definitely some questions. What money was made, where did it go, who, and why the constant need to keep this, failed venture. Is that probably the best way to put it? At the end of the day, there's been no quick fix here. We're looking at things in 2021 that are saying, I'm speaking to somebody and that'll be great and blah blah blah. We're still waiting for any kind of. It's just another technical difficulty or another way in. For right now, it seems to be merchandise. That I will be as bold as to say that it is now t-shirts, key rings, the bumper stickers or whatever the other things were. I mean, Jeff Goldblum put it best, didn't he? So that is, I think, for me, the grift itself. I think the book sales dry up after a while. There's only so many people who can tell two people who can tell two people. But yeah, I mean, that's another thing in terms of Scott Forbes as well, with the, this money will be put into this pot. That's, again, I want a video about that. This money will be saved up to this, but I've also got ring-fest money. Everything. Finances as well. There's a great way of looking at it, especially if you get a phone call from a company. Who are you and why are you phoning me? Let me think about it and I'll phone you back when I've made the decision. And how much is this going to cost me? Now, really, those three questions are the most important, but the last one, how much is it going to cost me? That's always one that should be focused on as well. Because if it's a legitimate call, they're not going to mind you phoning them back when you've thought about it. They're not going to mind the first one either, telling you who they are and why they phoned. How much did it cost? And this is always something that gets me, when people start talking about you giving them money so they can do good work. It's the same in finance, it's the same in crypto, it's the same in all these kind of things as well. When somebody starts asking for money so they can do good work, it's just alarm bells. Alarm bells, alarm bells. For as little as $2.99 a month. So, what do you guys think? Did you get a wee look at the blog? Have you heard of this before? And do you have any more information? Even just a heavy turn into speculation station. Probably underneath, because I don't know if anybody... I don't know tax law. That's something I'd like to know. In terms of charity, surely there's something that's there for donations. Like, I don't know, maybe I have to look at the tax law now. Is that another thing we'll have to learn about? Jesus. Ugh. Right, so anyway, with that in mind, thank you for watching this. Please, guys, go over and look at the Innocence Fraud blog. And the Roberto Glass video, actually. We'll look at that as well. And leave a comment below. Leave a sarcastic thumbs up. Do not be a dick. And enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.